Hey everyone, I thought I'd have a little chit chat. I was watching some videos, and usually they're family vlog videos or whatever they call, or I like watching cooking videos, but I can't eat anything, so it's kind of hard for me to watch it because I want it, but I can't have it. But I just watched one where they have three littles. They're like really little. I think one is like 1 and 3, and then maybe 4 or 5, and pregnant with another one, almost ready to pop. And I remember when I was, with my littles, I had in the beginning, the first marriage, and I had my kids bing, bang, boom. The first 4 were very, very close. I think I had 1, 2, 3 boys, then my daughter, and I think those 2 were like just over a year apart, her and him, because I remember they both were in the playpen together. So it was always busy times, and I think I'd shared with you in a video or 2 that my mom always asked me to bring them up to her work. She loved to show her grandkids off. So I would bring them up, all these little ducklings, they would say. There comes Sandy with all her ducklings following her. Well, not really. They were all in front of me or next to me, but it was always busy. I mean, my kids were really good. I was lucky. They were very well behaved. I mean, all the time, even at home, but, especially in public. It was just, there were a lot of them. So we go into this office, and it's not that big, and I remember she had a boss. His name was Mr. Rosser. I remember him because he came to my mom's funeral, and he came up to me, and he says, "Hi, Sandra. Do you remember me? I'm Mr. Rosser. I was your mom's boss." And I said, "Oh, I sure do." I said, I used to be so scared of you because my mom used to love to show off the grandkids, and I would come up and I'd be like, "Where's Mr. Rosser?" Because he looked mean. I was just, I had my kids right away. I got married out of high school and had kids. And I was very, like, kind of, shy person. And, well, I've changed since then. I guess you get kids, you learn, you turn into a mama bear. But anyhow, but I thought it was really nice he came there. But anyhow, so it was just kind of, I don't know, light in the mood that he was there, just, sharing the story that he never knew, because he said, "He's the nicest person." I said, "Yeah, but you were the boss, and here I come in with 4 tiny little kids." Well, my daughter, she's a baby, and then like a 1-year-old, and, just little kids. And even though he said, "You had the best behaved kids," and everyone did. And I felt like, when you do a job at work, and if you're told every day you're doing a good job and kudos or attaboy or whatever those things were. And that's how I kind of felt. I mean, it wasn't a job, obviously, but it's like I felt like I was doing it right. Because, we're not given a handbook, instructions, directions, nothing. It's like, "Here's your baby. Good luck. See you in 9 months." That's what they used to always say to me. And I remember working as a candy striper, and I heard the nurses say it, so I started saying to them, I said, "See you in 9 months." But I worked in this hospital. I know I veered off. I'll go back to the subject at hand. But I hate elevators. I cannot stand elevators. And back then I really couldn't stand them. So I worked in this hospital, and they had an old elevator. So it went kind of slow. So what I did is, back then, I don't know what they do now when they discharge a maternity patient, but the mom would be in the wheelchair holding the baby. And then you go on the elevator with them, and then you bring them out to the car. And then, I don't know if I took the baby. Did they let candy stripers take babies? I think so. I don't know. But anyhow, I was so scared of elevators. I would put the husband, wife, and the baby on the elevator, and I would go down the stairs, and I would still beat the elevator. Oh, God, I couldn't stand elevators. But anyhow, so yeah, I was watching this video, and it brought tears to my eyes, because I remember how people would say, "My gosh, you are always so busy." Like, I always did stuff with my kids. Like, we would go pick strawberries, and then we would make freezer jam, or we'd go pick whatever there was to pick. We'd go pick it: blueberries, raspberries, apples, plums, prunes, not prunes, plums, apricots. I already said whatever. We picked it, and then we went to the farm markets, and we'd come home and we'd make homemade pickles, and then we'd make oh, I tasted cherry pie once. I remember I lived in an apartment complex. We were building a house, and this one girl, her father had died, and people were bringing stuff over, and they had a cherry pie, and I'd never had a cherry pie. It was so good. So I always thought, one day I'm going to make it. So we went picking cherries. Those are hard to pick, especially if you don't go at the right time. But anyhow, I brought them home, and all that was in my mind was, I'm going to make a cherry pie. Well, let me tell you, it did not turn out. Oh my gosh. It was a liquid pie. I don't know what I did wrong. But it was, I mean, we still ate it. I don't waste food, but it wasn't that delicious pie. I mean, it was good. It tasted good, but I don't know what happened, what I did wrong. But I did a lot of stuff with my kids. We almost like did kind of school, like we, I would do ABCs with them, and we did numbers, and like when they cooked with me, and you know how it is if you have kids and they're little, or your grandkids, you know how it is. It takes twice as long when they help, but they learn. Like you're like, okay, this is 1 cup, and now we need a half a cup of something. So we take this cup and we fill it up to here, which is halfway. And they just always like to help. And then washing dishes. Oh my gosh. Because I would hand wash all my pots. And I like to wash dishes. I don't know. I find, not now, not when I'm in pain and my body's on fire. But, I used to love to wash dishes. I would rather wash them than put them in the dishwasher. But I would just, when I would wash the pots and pans, or sometimes, everything's in the dishwasher, you gotta wash them. Oh yeah, someone had to come up, and we didn't have those fancy gadgets like they have now. It's almost like an old-fashioned wooden high chair turned upside down, where they got like a whole thing around them and they could stand there. No, well, we pulled up a chair and they would do the dishes. And every time Grandma came over, she used to like wash dishes too, so I would leave some dishes for her. All the time the kids would go, and oh my gosh, something that could have taken me 5 minutes took a long time, but it was fun. And I remember I had a friend of her once, she says, how do you do it? How do you have so much patience? She says, I could never. Just even, you're making a snack for them, you're handing out the snack, and the snacks were made. Like I would always have cut up fruit, and I'd cut up celery. I'd have celery with peanut butter and raisins in it, or, I always had snacks ready. But, she says, but putting them on the plates and giving it to them, and then giving them their sippy cups and pouring their drinks. And, she says, I'm just tired watching it. I says, I love it. I love this. This is what I wanted out of life. I love it. And I don't know, if I didn't marry the first guy, would I have maybe had one child and, gone to school and became a pediatrician and were a psychologist, and then maybe had more kids or not? I don't know, but for sure he came from a big family, Catholic. We were both Catholic, and well, they say Catholic people have a lot of kids. I don't know if that had to do with it, but I just wanted a big family. So I'm thankful who I ended up with, my first marriage, because he was right on the same path. He wanted a stay-at-home mom who took care of the kids, and that's what I did, and I enjoyed it. And when people would say, how do you do it? Like when we went to the park, I would be right on top of my kids. I wouldn't be sitting there like some moms just sitting, I would always think, gosh, someone's going to take one of my kids. I mean, back then it was safe, but, there could be a loon somewhere around the corner. But anyhow, and I'd be on there's this thing, I don't know, you go on and it like shakes. I don't know how to describe it, but anyhow, I'd just be running around with all the kids and all. But the thing is, see, everyone was like 20 years older than me, so I guess I had a lot of energy. But they would just say, even when they, were younger, well, a lot of them had their kids later, but even thinking when they couldn't understand. I said, I don't know, I just love it. I said, the main thing is, because I know one day I'm not going to have this. One day I'm going to be old, And, well, I never thought I'd be old and have everything hurt on me. And then my body is burning up for almost 9 months. So you can have a baby in 9 months. At least you get a baby out of the deal. Not me just burning. And now for the last Friday will be 3 weeks. I have the chills. So I'll do a video on that, another thing. I don't want to get off this nice, happy topic. But yeah, I was watching this video, and when you watch these big YouTubers who have like million or 10 million or 14 million or whatever, subscribers, and they have nannies and I don't know, all kinds of people because they need help with their kids. I don't understand. And I know I did a video similar to this, but I don't get it. I mean, why do you have, well, yeah, they have kids because kids bring in money for YouTube, obviously. I can't, people have kids to make money on YouTube, but they do. Oh, I watched one video the other night. They literally, oh, were they using their kids something fierce? That's terrible. But anyhow, I just really love what I did. And I remember when we went to Sunday school, and it was a Lutheran church, not my church, and I think they're called a pastor. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know. They're not a priest, but I remember he came up to me, he says, boy, you can tell how much you love your kids and you are so involved with them. And I was. And I just loved them. And I hated when school started. I loved summer break. And all my friends would say, you are nuts. What is wrong with you? I can't wait till summer's over and they go back to school. And I couldn't stand it. When August started coming around, our kids go back to school in September where we live. But I know some kids go back in August. But it's like, I would just be like, oh, I can't stand it. I would just try to fit in as much in a day I could because I couldn't stand when they went back to school. I just missed my kids so much. But I had a lot of kids, so, I had a lot to enjoy. And, of course, once school starts, you got to get up early. I'm not a morning person. Neither were my first set of kids. We were not morning people, so mornings were rough. So we did all the signing of the papers and setting out the clothes and everything you had to do the night before. It would never work. But they all got on the bus on time. Somehow, some way, I did it. That part I didn't enjoy. But then, then they had the school, the sports, and both my daughters did ballet. My one only did it, I think she only took one class. The other one did it for, I don't know, 13 years maybe? No, more than that. She did it 14 years, yeah. And she had 3 dance classes, and let me tell you, it was a lot of driving back and forth and then sitting there and waiting. And this one dance studio we were at, she was very cheap as cheap can be, and took every bit of your money, let me tell you. She was expensive, and you had to sit there and freeze. She wouldn't turn the heat on in there. She's like, oh, well, it's too hot for the dancers. Get out of there. My daughter came out of there frozen. It was terrible. I would sit there and freeze, and being thin, I'm cold anyhow. Well, not now. My whole world is turned upside down, but, it's in my finger. It is. Oh my God, it's been there the whole video. Sorry. But anyhow, so yeah, I love my life. I miss my life. I knew in the back of my head this day would be here. Of course I have Polly, and I believe, he's here for a reason because I love being a mom. It's just my favorite thing in the world, and I miss it. I miss all the busy times, And I had in my plans, I thought, well, this was with the first husband. We always thought we'd like to maybe foster some kids, but then I said, it'd be hard for me. I'd want to adopt them. And he said, that would be fine. And that was our plan. So we would have probably had a real big family, even bigger than we do. But we just both, like I said, he wasn't really hands-on when they were little, but once they got into sports or, talking, like being little humans, he was, he was into that. And not all men are into the baby thing, I mean, a lot of them are, but he wasn't. It was fine, I did the feeding, so he couldn't feed him, but he just, he wasn't into that. But I just really, I miss all that. No, I can't say I miss the mornings getting them ready for the bus. No, I don't miss that. But every year, first year of school, they'd come home to homemade chocolate chip cookies. Every year. Last day of school, same thing. Homemade chocolate chip cookies. They always came home to a snack. So I was a latchkey kid, and I was going to make sure. And now how they have these things where you could cut out shapes of I think there's some channels on how to make special lunches all cool and all. I did that before it was a thing. I would cut out shapes using a knife, or maybe a cookie cutter, and like you take a cucumber and slices and you cut it into a shape, and carrots and everything. I did all the things they have gadgets for now. I just used a knife, and I would use a cookie cutter and cut out a sandwich. And I actually, when I come to think of it, they have a cookie thing, a cutter thing to make Uncrustables, or yeah, I think that's what they're called. I used to do that. The kids don't like, the crust. So I would cut the crust off, but I'd have it in a shape, and then I'd push down the side when they had peanut butter and jelly so the stuff didn't come out. So I guess I invented Uncrustables and didn't even know it. If I only would have thought of it. And my dad was always looking for ideas for businesses because he had money. I don't know. He probably wouldn't have gone for that. He would think it was dumb, but who knows? Might have been a millionaire by now. But anyhow, tell me about if you had kids, or if you have grandkids, or even if you babysat, or anything to do with kids, or if you didn't have kids. Well, you can talk about whatever you'd like to, but if you had kids, did you feel that you thoroughly enjoyed it, or did you feel times that you were overwhelmed? I don't know. I just never felt overwhelmed. The only time when I got sick with my heart, I felt not overwhelmed. I was scared. I had to leave my kids. The doctor who saw me, her sister, babysat. I never had a babysitter. And I told her, I have to go home. She says, you're not going anywhere. You're very sick. And I said, I don't have a babysitter. She says, my sister, I think she was 16 or 16, 17. No, I think she's in college, first year college, yeah. And she babysat. So I had a complete stranger babysitting my kids, and that was a horrible time in my life. Well, I've had several horrible times with my other son's cancer and my daughter's disabilities and Polly being in the NICU and all, but that was really hard for me. But otherwise, nothing else, with the kids. It's everything. Even going on vacation, and you got to have potty stops. And we didn't do a lot of vacations. I think we went to Florida twice only with my first husband. But we took trips down to Watertown. That's where he was from. And we saw I guess they had, I don't know, they had something there we saw. I don't remember. Anyhow, but I remember we had lobster really cheap. It was like $5. I don't know how many lobsters I ate. It was really delicious. So we went on like little trips because he had a big family, and we would go visit his family. Or we went to Niagara Falls a lot. Little mini trips. Back then things weren't that expensive. But we didn't take like big trips. And then his family loved to camp. I am not a camper. My idea of camping is a hotel room. So we would stay at the hotel room, and then we'd go to their campfires and stay all day with them. But when night came and the mosquitoes came, after we sat at the campfire where I was freezing, we'd go back to the hotel room, and where there's a bathroom, and you can go to the bathroom and not sit on a big garbage can with a hole in it. That's all I remember about camping. It was horrible. I did so much camping when I was little in a tent, and when it rained, everything was wet because we didn't have a lot of money. We didn't have cots. We laid on the ground. It was horrible. Ugh. But we did camping with the kids. We set up a tent in the back, made sure it wasn't raining though. But that was fun because we knew we could go inside to the bathroom. But yeah, so I just wanted to share a little happiness with you because, it seems like everyone's down the dumps, depressed, and, our world is the way it is. And I know it's an easy choice to choose depression. Like everyone I know is depressed. I should be depressed because my life is so bad. I can't even put into words what I go through. I'll do a whole video on this hot and cold thing. This is unreal. But anyhow, I know it's hard and it's easier said than done. But, I just try to fight it. I like I said, I've only been depressed once as a side effect of a medicine. And I do remember it's awful. And for me, I couldn't control it. The medicine was controlling me. But it was a horrible feeling. And I remember how horrible it was. So when I feel like, oh my gosh, I just want to sleep and I can't, I just think I can't fall into that black hole. And I know some people, you just, you just can't fight it, but I just try to go with the flow. You know, we're in the house, we don't go anywhere. Now my car's not working. My phone, sometimes it doesn't work. And my purse, I don't know if I sent another video where I when I doze off, I'm dreaming. I don't know. I don't think I even sleep long enough and my purse ripped. But anyhow, I just try to make the best of it. That's all you can do. Trying to figure out how to get an Easter dinner for Polly. I asked his father if he'd get it for us. He won't. And my car doesn't work, so I can't go. He won't let me use his car. Now Instacart is more fees on it. I'll talk about that in another video. This is a long video. I hope you guys listen to it till the end. Let's see if you do. I'm going to say a word at the end of this video and see if you will put the word down at the end. So the word at the end, I should have put that at the beginning of the video. No, you go to the end. Okay. So if you went all the way to the end, the word of the day is Easter Bunny. So write it down in the comments so I know you went to the end. Yeah, that's better because if I said at the beginning, you'd go to the end. Okay. For once I was thinking. I don't know how I could think. My brain's on fire. But anyhow, share your stories about raising your kids or your grandkids or something. Share something positive. Don't forget to subscribe, like. Please press the like button. It really helps the algorithm. It puts my videos out there for more people. Share my videos. Be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through. Well, we all know what we're all going through. Most importantly, stay safe. And please pray for the people across the... I'm tired. The water, the body of water. It's horrible to watch what's going on. But for now, I'm glad you stopped by, and I hope I put a little happiness into your day, sharing all my happiness I had all those years, and I'm so thankful for I had them. So for now, bye everyone.